Yo.
You're.
What up, though? This is the PR Project, episode number 51. How y'all feeling, man? How y'all doing?
I'm feeling great.
Two totally different answers. One's like, I'm feeling excellent. I can't wait for tomorrow. And the other's like, yeah, man, that's what it is. I feel like we're gonna talk about this a little bit, but I'm feeling a little run down today. But I think it's because I did something today.
Yeah, I wonder why.
But so what are we talking about first? We got a lot to talk about. Well, last week was like literally hijacked by World Championships talk. Do you want to just jump right back into that and try to make it like a 10-minute thing instead of like a 40?
Yeah, we can start out with the Little League World Series.
Little League World Series. Dude, that one dude is amazing.
The California team won on a walk-off home run.
Wait,
I can't think of anything that my 12-year-old self would have wanted more than to win the Little League World Series with a walk-off home run.
I mean, there's really
people about that for my whole life, bro.
Okay. Real quick, let's humor me here. What's in your life right now? Like, what's the adult version of that? Like in your life, like what's the adult version of like a walk-off home run, Gary?
Ooh.
Like, I don't even know if there is a thing.
No,
like a walk-off home run.
I don't know, bro. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe like if I got like a offer from Nike or something, but other than that, I don't know, bro. That's crazy.
It almost be like out kicking somebody at a race, for like something,
I don't know. I mean,
but that'd be the closest. But
I think
your company softball league.
I feel like you'd have to like outkick. Oh yeah. So anybody in the comments, the question is, what's the adult version of, or like an version for you currently of a walk-off home run, like in your in life or running or whatever? Like, what's your version of a walk-off home run? That's actually a tough question because it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never done it, but it's like, it's like hitting a 3-pointer at the buzzer, like, and you were down too.
Yeah, it's literally that. Like
legit.
He will talk about that for the rrest of his life. Like that at 12 years old, he might have peaked.
Yeah, right.
At 12 years old, yeah, that's it. Because the chances of that actually happening again is very low.
It's all downhill from here, bro.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be like a big league player on a championship team to even get to that level again.
Yeah. That's like him doing that is like the prettiest girl in 6th grade saying yes to like going to the dance with you, because either it's just a life of that, or she sets you up for failure the rest of your life. You're just gonna be like, nah, no thanks. So Mark says get a BQ. I feel like getting a BQ is a great thing, and I think that like it's a big thing, but I don't think it's walk-off home run. I mean, you get to drop the bat and take your time around all bases, and the whole team is cheering for it. Like, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, bro, the Little League World Series, the whole like
not even just the game
on ABC.
Yeah, sorry.
In the middle of the summer, like,
yeah,
you don't get better than that, bro.
That's actually once you put it in that perspective, it's literally the Little League World Series walk-off home run to win the championship.
Because you gotta think about it. When you that age and you like baseball, that's literally your whole life. Like, you don't care about anything but that.
Mark's
sticking to it.
Yeah.
Mark's okay, hold on. Yeah, so this is the biggest thing that I've ever done. I'm not athletic, but found a way. I mean, I'm not taking anything from it. You know what I'm saying? Because literally, like, me getting a BQ was like the biggest thing, like, athletically, that I did, like, on in sport, because I didn't play on a bunch of different teams and stuff. Slow jog after crossing the finish line. I'm gonna say this, Mark. If you're slow jogging still after you cross that finish line, You walked through that BQ easy, bro. You're done. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about that for a while. Like, I'm gonna text y'all randomly, like, you know what? If if I dropped like my arch nemesis at the end of a marathon to win the marathon, to win it, like win the whole thing, and then it just so happened that it was a surprise that they were gonna give you $100,000 for the winner. Some random like rich person was like $100,000 to whoever wins.
It'd almost be like if you're talking about a race, you'd have to outkick your opponent at the end and like into a crowd of like people like cheering you on, like everybody came to see you. Like they sit around home plate, like you finish it and you just have everybody there to support and cheer, and they give you a flag of something, flag of Detroit, flag of something.
Yeah,
something.
Being able to sprint through the finish line after a long race.
I ain't never did that, so that might be cool.
Yeah, yeah. But my warped mind would be like, dang, I could have ran faster if I could do that. Breaking the tape in a race after outkicking the second place person. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, did y'all see that video that was on Instagram for a while, like where the two guys were racing towards the finish, and the guy was trying to like sneak in on the side, and the dude pushed him into the barricade, and they both
that's Connor Mance, right? Connor Mance is the one that got pushed in.
No. I'm talking about the bad one. Like, it was Connor Mance didn't actually get pushed. I mean, he kind of maybe a little bit did, but he didn't run into them. I'm talking about that video where like the guy slammed into the barricades. Like the last minute, it was like a normal 5K. It was like I'll find it. It was like a normal
just like regular guys.
Everybody was like, oh, like it was bad. All right, so Elizabeth says, do you typically take breaks for water or fueling during long runs, or do you aim for no stops? So she's down to business. She's like, let's stop. Let's stop with all this small talk. Get Aaron, you want to answer this one?
I aim for no stops. I bring fuel with me, but I don't break to take it because I want to take it like I would take it in a race. Today we stopped at Starbucks for a bathroom break. At like mile 10 of 16. I usually don't like doing that, but sometimes you have no choice. And as far as water, I've yet to nail how to hydrate on a long run. I know last week, Tommy and Gary and the guys like double back to the cars to hydrate in the middle of a run, but it's just not really a thing for me. So, I mean, I know people that take their handheld water bottles and all of that stuff. I've just never been big on hydrating on long runs because I don't like carrying stuff.
Yeah,
and, my life is not together enough to plant water in advance. So
I took a handheld a couple weeks ago, and I've done it a few times, but it's so awkward because it's almost like when you have a full bottle of whatever, it weighs. I feel like I'm like being like weighted down on one side.
Yeah.
And then when we did it last week, the problem was like I didn't pick it up and like throw it back around. I stopped for a second, drank some water, and then started. So it kind of defeated the purpose of practicing with water, other than I'm just getting some electrolytes in my system. But as far as fuel, we just usually carry that and go, but water thing we got to figure out.
Yeah, I did the half today, and I immediately like remembered that I need to try to practice this water thing. I know you're supposed to grab it and pinch the thingy or whatever, dump a little bit of water out. One race, I don't even remember what race it was, but recently, like this year, I in Boston, it was like perfect. Everything was fine. But like at this new pace I had a little bit of an issue today. So I do want to practice that at least once or twice, like randomly, even if it's just fake, running by it and grabbing a cup, I'm trying to just going back. Like I'll spend 30 minutes doing that if I need to, because that can mess up a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's dangerous, but like the way I try to do it is grab the cup, dump half, pinch, but like you literally have to like, this is gonna sound wild, but you gotta like cover the entire hole that's left with your mouth. You can't like drink it like a normal cup. You have to like create a seal. You feel me? And then, but it's tricky because then you just got water. And that's how that's how I try to do it to avoid spillage. because I hate getting Gatorade on me, and now I'm sticky, and it's just weird, you know what I'm saying? All right, where's Cameron when you need it, bro? Damn.
I mean, no, you were spot on, bro. Like, I mean, it is like you do have to go.
Hold on.
Oh my god!
I think he just broke. I think he just broke the.
No.
I think he just broke.
Can you imagine?
No.
Oh my god, that'd be crazy.
No,
yo, I am not giving demonstrations. Absolutely not.
No, but Mark, you might need to. But no, for real, Mark,
be giving demonstrations.
That's hilarious, Mark. But really though, do you? I mean, is this a real thing, or are you just saying it's random? Like, is that just like a random joke? Because, I mean, that could work.
Bring a Capri Sun straw, bro. You be straight.
I mean, just get a long straw, cut it in half. I mean, you could like and have it like in your sleeve. I mean, that could literally work, bro.
They might.
No, you're gonna jam it like on the top of your mouth. It's not a good idea.
Okay, guys.
All right,
it's not.
Maybe this is not the greatest conversation we have.
Welcome to the PR project. Yeah. All right. So okay, World Championships, real quick. I have a take. It's not necessarily a hot take. What happened?
No, where's your take?
Comments crazy.
That's crazy.
Take, not even a hot take. I don't think. I think from Sunday to Sunday. So last Sunday we talked about Carey Richardson, and now we're here 7 days later. I think from that time we saw her like Saturday, whatever that was, that actually got us to talk about her. I feel like she changed, and like not necessarily, I wouldn't say matured, because I mean she obviously didn't mature over like in 5 days. But I think she like let go of whatever character she had or was doing between then and now. Because I feel like after she won the 100, like the validation like immediately came, and I feel like every interaction that they showed her on was just a total different energy. It was like she was enjoying being there finally. She was just like living in the moment, having a good time, talking to, communicating with everybody, all the, other athletes as well. She turned down an interview, but she did it like in a, like, it was like the semifinal. She's like, I'll talk to you tomorrow, and just kept going. But I feel like she something happened, and I think it was a gold, but she like let go of the character I feel like she was playing.
I don't think she was playing a character. I just think you act different when you win and you act different when you lose.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I mentioned this to you on the run a couple days ago. I think at the U.S. trials when she like took the wig off, I think she was like shedding that character and like expecting great things. Like, look, if I want to be a winner, I got to change a little bit. And I think that it's all been a longer process than just winning that 100 meters.
Yeah,
I think it's been in the making.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like maybe not character necessarily, but I feel like the thing that had the chip that was on her shoulder, like I think that winning the gold, it doesn't like there's almost no need for that chip anymore, because she proved what she thought, she proved who she knew and thought she was. So it's like I don't need to talk to y'all about it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. And then even with her like her banter and stuff like that with like the Jamaicans that had like, they ain't have beef and nothing like that, but they definitely said something, like she definitely wasn't talking to them before.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like in the moments where she was like there and it was happening, everything's going well. Like you said, winners, when you win, you change a little, you lighten up a little bit, about with the coming with the extra stuff. But I feel like, and I appreciated it though too, because like it shows like you don't have to, it's not all or nothing one way or the other. Like you can have a good time, you can do your thing. And I was happy to see her like the way she was and keep winning and keep running well. And I just appreciated the energy she was giving.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
We all love humility, but also
no, not even humility, but just like I mean, I don't think she got humble. Like I ain't saying that, but I just appreciated like seeing her enjoy the moment. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
before, I don't know if she was necessarily enjoying it. It didn't seem like it was.
Losing is not enjoyable. That's what I'm saying. Like if somebody would have came and interviewed you after Boston 2021, you would have been a totally different person than you was after Boston last year.
Yeah. You're right.
So I don't know. She's
no, you're right.
And also she's a year older. And when you in your early 20s, a year can make a lot of difference. So
yeah, and you know the whole stuff we talked about last week. People try to drag her for that.
And the media treats you the media treats you differently when you win than when you lose too.
Right.
The way they write the articles and stuff are totally different.
And then, all the comments and the IG and all that, everything changed as soon as you get a gold, you know, or a silver or bronze even, you know, like everything changed.
Yeah, as soon as you get that medal.
When you perform to or above the expectation, the story is told totally different than when you perform under expectation.
Yeah. And then even if because even if at that point you say you win the gold and then you still see stuff that's like shade, I mean, that's like negative, it's easy to point at, oh, that's just shade. That's just them hating, you know. But then when somebody says something that may be kind of true, you know, you may believe it, you know, like, oh, well, there may be some truth to this. It's easy to get caught up in that, especially if you kind of doubting it yourself a little tiny bit because you ain't done it yet. But no, I'm just saying I respected it, love how she did her thing. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
But you can't say that if you lose. You know what I'm saying? Because then you just sound delusional. But when you win, you say stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely the energy. I feel like the energy wasn't much different. It was just, I don't know. It was elated because she won rather than honorary because she lost.
Yeah. I messed with either way. I was like, I was happy for her and loved watching from that point on. Every time you saw her on the camera, I was rooting for her to win anyway, but like it was just different. And it was cool. I respected it. And then when they came and got another goal, she got 3 goals, right?
No, 2 goals
in a brown.
So 2 goals in a row. And then they got the goal for the relay. That was fire. Yeah, that was fire.
That was so much fun to watch.
They smoked them.
And they didn't even run a great race, but they still
I mean, they didn't even run a great race in the semis. I mean, they almost like 7 minutes from getting out of that zone. That was.
And then the 4x400. Yeah, 4x400. The women got DQ'd way out the zone. Did you see that, Aaron?
No, I didn't even see it.
The final pass. It was the third pass. I'm talking about way out the zone. Like she didn't she drop it? Yeah, she dropped. No, she didn't drop the baton. But she was kind of she reached back, wasn't looking, didn't catch it. Hair's going through it.
I got something in my hair, bro. I can't get it out.
You had it. No, you had it. You just put it back in.
I know.
Yeah, there was a.
All right. This is not a thing. Let's go.
You got it. Just stay like it. Just look, put your head back. No, but so they the baton pass was terrible. Yeah. And she didn't grab it, so she slowed back, she slowed down, and never didn't have any respect for the line at all. I'm like, why wouldn't you just stop?
Because you're not trained.
I was just focused. I think I'm
focused.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the reporters afterwards, this dude dragged all 4 of them through an explanation of it, and it was the worst TV ever. Bro, don't do that, man. He's like, well, what happened? And I'm like, oh my god, just let's leave it where it's at. Anyway,
I effed up, Bob.
What?
I effed up. What do you want me to say?
Right, what do you want me to say right now to you? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. It seemed like reporters, even live reporters like that. I get that you got to get what you know.
We talked about this last week with Fred.
It's just, come on, man. Just come up with a better question, something that maybe something better than that, because to make somebody relive a moment where because for the relay, you not only messed it up for your other 3 people. There was 4 other people or something other number of people that would have been involved in the next level or something like that.
It's a switch to for other folks. Yeah,
you're messing up for other people too. Anyway, all right, so I'm gonna go through these questions real quick if y'all don't mind.
I got one too. So
What?
I got a question in my DMs just as I posted the thing. So
Oh, do it.
answer that too.
Go.
Okay. It said, what do you think about what Noah Lyles said about the NBA?
What'd he say?
He was like, the NBA called they champions world champions, but we really compete against everybody in the world. So we're truly world champions.
All
They're
right.
just champions of the NBA.
Yeah.
I don't agree, but it's cool.
Oh, well, okay. Well, the only difference, I mean, the only slight thing there is that like there's people from all over the world that play for the NBA.
Right.
But I see what I see what you're saying though.
All of our sports are all like the World Series, but it's
It's kind of like I know exactly what he's saying, but
yeah, I get what he's saying. It's not international competition like
it's
in a
true,
in a traditional sense, but the NBA is the greatest basketball league in the world. The MLB is the greatest baseball league in the world, and the NFL is the only football league in the world because nothing, well, other than college football. So,
but I mean,
if you win, yes, you you are literally the best basketball team that they can put together outside of like all-star teams, but you're the best like quote unquote club team in the world. So because you're not gonna get a team from the Spanish ACB, you're not gonna get FC Barcelona, and they're gonna come and beat the Warriors. Like
they're not beating 72-10 Warriors or 73.
They're not beating any Warriors. Like the talent level is different. Like that.
But I mean, I still think what he says to me still stands. Like I mean, it's still true. Like
I mean, yeah, technically.
I mean, because when we go to the Olympics and they demolish everybody or get beat, somebody else ends up being actually the world champion of basketball.
Sure.
It's split hairs. It's all semantics.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. It's a cool soundbite.
What did you say about hair, Gary?
It's overrated, Gary. Having hair is overrated.
It really is.
As you can see, I was just going through it.
Look, see. Yeah, it's overrated. Hold on. All right. That was like I mean, I see what you're saying though, but also yes, you're correct as well. All right, so I had put I ran a half marathon today. I ran the Millennium half-ish. I'm sorry. It's a half-ish marathon. So the Millennium Meadows Marathon in Grand Rapids, Michigan is a half-ish marathon because it's 3 loops around this park. There's also a marathon going on. There's also a 10K going on, but it's a half-ish because every race that starts in that park ends on that same spot, Aaron, where Joe, like same exact spot, no matter what. So in order to get to the way that it's all set up, when you're doing these loops, you're almost on an island. I mean, not really, but you're like offset. So you have to get back to the little pavilion area, and that's where the finish was. So there was like a point where it said half marathon like end or whatever. So you pass over some timing mats at 13.1, and then but the finish line is another quarter mile away. So it's a 13.35 race.
It's a little 400, just a little 400 interval. Yeah.
To go after you already kind of gunned it to finish, because the time that mattered to me was when I crossed that first mat, but then you still end up pushing to get to the end because you want to, I mean, why would you stop, but I think it was a good race. The goal today was to run marathon pace and find that pace. And then after 10 miles or so, if I felt good on marathon legs, to get after it and go for it. I gotta be honest, like on the scale of like on A to F scale, I feel like I'd like an A- on the pacing, because like it was just hard to find like that pace, like because in a marathon it's easy, it's easier to stay at your marathon pace because you got to do else. Y'all there?
Yeah, yes, he was lagging a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. Y'all hear me now?
Yeah,
yeah, but your audio not matching your video.
Neither is yours.
Oh man. All right, we back, I think.
Are we good?
I think so.
We live?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, we good.
I mean, we're still live. Yeah.
We've been live the entire time.
Yeah, everybody's gonna watch this. Anyway, so I didn't nail the pacing that I wanted to, but it all worked out. You know.
Did you run with anybody? Like, you're in the top 3, but were you by yourself? Like,
Yeah,
did you have
time.
anybody? So you're by yourself the whole time? That's kind of hard.
Yeah, and I mean, I've never like all my last races except for Boston, all my last race, like any race, all last year was alone somehow. You know, like either I started late, you know, I forgot my shoes, or I started like with Joe in Chicago, and then had like a progression thing, so I ended up by myself again. You know, it was just in New York was weird.
But in terms of like having people to like, okay, I can chase him or her, I can go after like you.
Well, the cool thing was it was a 3 loops around the park, so you always have somebody to pick off.
Oh, okay.
Once you do that first loop, you start seeing people that are. I mean, they're going at a different pace than you, but you can see people and you just start like you're just going by them. You know.
Is this the same park as they do the?
Yeah, the BQ2. Yep, same exact course. What you about to say?
I realized I don't like running with people in races. I think I would rather run alone. All my best performances in races came from me pacing myself and not like depending on other people for pacing.
No, my point was like somebody like at least you're like.
Yeah, no. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, like to key off of or like just to keep you engaged. Right. But like running with a pace group or
pace groups can be a lot.
That's good for me.
You know, pace groups. I feel like pace groups can be a lot because number one, you got to deal with I mean, shout out to all the pacers out there. I mean, because they're like a big deal. You know, like and especially if you get a good one, like it can be like you know it could save a marathon. You know. But like it can be a lot though. Like if the person is like a talkative person and you're not like you don't want to hear all that and you just want people to run, or you know, and you get a big group. Some people are talking, some people are panting. You know, like it's like it's a lot going on. So the times that I've like end up locking in with people was just happened through, you know, 10 miles later, this person happens to still be in the area. So like in Boston, it was like was no group. It just after about 10 miles and you like starting to lock in, you just happen to see like, oh, this guy's still here. This person's here. And you just stay there. And, you know, you don't do any talking. You know, it's just like, you're just there. Yeah. And you're like, you're running alone technically, you know, essentially, but it's just like, you have like, I like that, like the smaller, like little group, like it feels like it's just us running. You know what I'm saying? I like that.
So like for my 2 best marathons, right? Jacksonville and Newport. Mm-hmm. Newport, I was
solo.
I had somebody right on my back for the first 10 miles. And then after that, I was by myself. And I didn't mind that. And the person that was running with me in Newport, he never went in front of me. He never went on the side of me. He literally was a few steps behind me for the first 10 miles. So it's like he wasn't even there. And he had on headphones. So it's like he really wasn't there to me. And then Jacksonville, I was with somebody for like the first, well, it was a big group for the first 5K because it was also a 5K. But once we split off, I wasn't really around anybody. And it was a group probably started out like a half mile ahead of me. I could see them, but I wasn't like in contact with them at all. But slowly they started coming back to me because like not all of them could stay on the pace. And then I was running next to a guy probably from like 22 to 24. And then I fell off from him. So it was like, I think that's better for me just to be able to like set the pace on my own and go. Because I didn't try a pace group in New York because I don't think there was a pace group in New York. But it was 1,000 million people there anyway. So that was weird. And then Eugene, I got dropped by Gary. So that was different.
Yeah, but I thought we worked well together up until, we split up. Like, held each other accountable for the most part.
Yeah, I would agree. It's just you taking off kind of was like, all right, now I'm on my own and Gary is killing it and I'm starting to feel weird. And should I be feeling weird already and Gary is feeling good? Like we train together, we kind of been on the same wavelength. Like why am I feeling it and he isn't? And it's like it just things start happening.
Yeah.
So this is I think this is kind of what I'm saying. I think it kind of like fits into what you're saying too a little. Is I always tend to find my own groove, and there's always happens to be multiple people to lock in with, or in and out with.
I agree.
So like
I think that's the most important part is finding your own groove and not relying upon others.
because like if you had like that's why like at like 10, 11, 12 ish miles, like you've kind of sorted through like who started out too fast, who started out slower and is going to speed up. By then you kind of feel like this person will probably be with me for a while. Like even if it's somebody falls off at 20, 23, like it's going to be a long way at that point if you are still together. So like that's different to me too, because like y'all are really on the same vibe.
You ever notice that when you're with those people, like the 1 or 2 folks that are with you the whole time, you tend to start to hate them?
Bro, I hate everybody. I create the worst possible scenarios for every runner around me, and I hate them all.
Yep.
They can be the nicest people, bro. And they all like some of them will comment on my Strava after like, great job. It was great running with you. And I just like, I hate you. You are my arch nemesis. I don't care for you at all.
All right. Oh, that's funny. So Stephanie says, my husband and I have the same goal for Berlin this year and don't plan to run together.
That's great. I mean, that's great because later on, if one of y'all hit the goal and one of y'all don't, now I'm blaming you. If we run together, I'm blaming you.
It's your fault. You kept talking. You said you was gonna hold my gel. You dropped it. But then, I mean, honestly, let's just talk about that. I mean, that's enough. Y'all live together. You're gonna travel over there together. You don't have to run a marathon together too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, that way when you come back, like y'all both have 2 separate stories of the marathon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely the right move.
Yeah, hopefully you guys both crush it separately. Yeah, okay. So I got some questions from my Instagram. It's about my race, but I'd love if y'all can tap into because we all race. Well, this is for me. So my mom said, "Are you pleased with your progression through this training?" Oh, that's for everybody, really. Are you pleased with your progression through this training block? If so, why? If not, why?
You're closer to your race, aren't you?
So I am pleased with the progression through my training block because I'm hitting all the miles, I'm hitting all the paces, the workouts seem to be going well. Every workout that I've had that seemed like it was supposed to be like a stretch, I've been able to pretty much nail it, other than like one when I try to do it at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a 90-degree day. On a track. Like, so it was like, I think like, it was just like, what's the worst case scenario today, But other than that, everything's gone really well. My body hasn't felt like, so I was telling Gary, and I don't want to put this out there, but so I was telling Gary that Dyra posted on her story, said something about shout out or all love for all the people that's out here marathon training tired. And I messaged her and I was like, I think I'm doing it wrong because I don't feel tired. Like I don't feel like, in the past, like you just start to feel like by now, I'm 4 weeks out. Normally, like right now, I feel a different way, I think. And all my workouts, like I'm fairly fresh for, like ready to go. Some of my easy runs are kind of trash, but I'm not feeling like that thing. And so I was like, but I think it's also because summer speed led a little farther into like, 40s, 50 miles as opposed to being at 60, starting off front. The ramp up, if you look at my Strava, the ramp up is slower.
I think I got a good idea why that might be happening.
Okay.
I feel like this is the longest you've ever went without being injured. Because usually, you coming back off an injury, you trying to knock on wood.
Everybody in this 25 people knock on wood right now. But I think you may be right.
A lot of times you coming from zero because you was hurt, so you were trying to ramp up from zero, but you didn't really have extended time off, so you were able to roll. I haven't
even had to take a day.
Yeah, so I think that. Well, I just mean even like in between, like you took some downtime after Boston.
After Boston, yeah.
But
and ever since then, it's been kind of.
But you was back at it. 5K in Eugene, and you was back at it. So
yeah.
So you've had like an extended period of time of good training, and also this is what your sixth cycle, like you kind of learning the beats of how it works and all of that. Like I think that plays into it.
And I appreciate that. Yeah, that actually makes more sense than. And then also I've been focusing on more sleep better because remember that was my thing. Like, but now I'm at least getting 7 hours at least, and that's pretty good. So for me, for sure. But yeah, so thank you for that. And Gary, what did you say? I think you were gonna say something about Marathon Tired.
I didn't feel it for Oregon. I didn't feel it for Eugene, and I just felt fit. And I think that's part of where you're at too. Like you're fit, you're getting and you're doing everything right. You're strength training, you're getting your rest, you're doing your pre and post run, like warm ups and recoveries and whatnot. Like everything's coming together really well. So, I don't see, that's kind of how I felt last year or earlier this year,
that makes sense.
Just kind of doing everything right. And then the body will, take care of itself.
What about you, Ari? Are you pleased with your progression so far?
No, not really. I feel like I haven't had that workout that's like, okay, I'm back to where I was like earlier. But also I'm not as far along as you, Tommy, or even Gary, like because I haven't raced much this summer. I got a later start to my training since I did that extra marathon.
Gary's what, like Gary's like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ahead of you probably. I mean, like not ahead, but like he started with racing and stuff.
Yeah. Because I mean, I added an additional 5 weeks to my previous block because of the extra marathon. So I'm still trying to find my footing. Today was cool. Today was 16 miles, my longest run since Bayshore. So that was cool. But I'd be lying if I said it felt great. We cut down for like the first 14 miles. It was cool. And it was North Hill, so it's not like it's the easiest route. But Ern put down them last 2 miles at sub 7 minutes, and I'm just like, I ain't got that right now. I ain't got that gear right now. So
Ern been at it too though. For a minute.
Yeah. Everybody doing good work, and it kind of feel weird to be behind the 8-ball, like to kind of like be in last place, trying to catch up right now. But I'm trying not to let that like bother my psyche. But it's like, all right.
Yeah, but like you said though, you've been through. If I've been through 7 blocks, you've been through 5, 6. You know what I mean? Yeah. It'll click in. Just like it did last time.
Yeah. And this is my first block with Ari, so I'm still trying to kind of get used to what she's prescribing because I'm still different. I'm this week was 55 miles. Like
55?
I'm not like close to like at this point last year I was like week 4 in a row of 60 plus. So it's just like trying to just acclimate to what she got me doing, and she bringing me along slow. That's cool. As long as it works out on race day, I guess that's best. And also we like long term because this is like a long term play for a spring marathon. So it's all a part of it.
Yeah. So. And then you are running and you are gearing up for a half. I mean, that's essentially. I mean, you are running New York with us, but your goal race is a half marathon. So it's not like you should. I mean, you shouldn't be 6. I mean, Ern should be kind of 16-mile fit. Like sort of. Like in the beginning of that, but he definitely needs to hit those. Like he needs to be like rolling in that direction. You just kind of like just need to get through them right now, and as you get closer, because you probably will never get to. Not never, but I don't think you won't get to 70.
Yeah, I can't. At this point, I don't think because I don't even think I'll get to 60 next week. So I think it's 7 weeks to go, and I probably would get around maybe mid 60s,
65, 66, something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she threw something serious on my long run next week, so we're gonna see how that go.
All right. So somebody said I saw Hobby Jogger Elite says I saw you ran in the 13.1 in the Adios Pro 3, which is right here. Are those your marathon shoe of choice? Adidas provided the bib for Berlin. So I will be rocking the Adidas Adios Zero Pro, whatever. I don't even know how to do it. Adios Pro 3. Yeah. So I honestly remember, Aaron, like I kind of always had an issue with these, and I said it kind of hurt my knee a little bit. Not hurt, but just kind of like makes it act up a bit. Mm-hmm. Today, it kind of like a couple times I felt a little sore, but then randomly, like at some point, I just didn't feel it anymore, and I felt fine. So hopefully, like tomorrow, I think we'll tell like if this will be a decent thing or not. So, but they are fat. I mean, they are pretty fat. They're loud though. For my foot strike, they're really loud. They're like flat sounding. So like I had to get used to that, but people heard me coming though. They was like, "Oh, shit, what's going on back here?" But yeah, they were great today. And then Gary kind of reassured me. He was like, "Yeah, but so many people have run in those and run great fast times, like professionals, but it's not like they're not a shoe of choice. You know what I'm saying? Like it's either Nike or Adidas when it comes to like that high level." So
at least, well, like I said, at least here in the U.S., like U.S. runners are all about Nikes and Asics and.
Yeah, Nike Asics pretty much rules the U.S. I feel like for like the elite side, and then like Adidas and Nike everywhere else pretty much.
Stephanie says, "How many miles do you have on the Adios Pro before Berlin?" That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had them for a while though. Like I had them since before Boston. I probably won't wear those though, like because I think they're gonna send the all white pair. But I mean,
you're not gonna try to open a new pair on race.
No, somebody. Yeah, so I was about to say somebody told us that like, so if you run in Adidas, and you don't like them up front, apparently what they say was 30 miles or something like that.
Yeah, just like right past that point where you can't return them. Yeah. Just run it for about 31 days, and then usually that'll be good.
Right. About 31 days is fine. If you got any problems, let me know. Like they can't bring it back. Yeah, so I'm gonna get those just because like I feel like I need a fresh pair. But I'm gonna try to put as many miles on as I can. Like do a couple long runs maybe, and then a workout that should be about 30. I mean that'll be 30 miles for sure.
Yeah.
I'm about to see how many miles I got on it. Oh, I got an interesting shoe in the mail that I can't talk about. I got 100. I want to talk about it so bad. It's 100 miles. It's like just under 100 miles on the shoe, which is probably towards the end of its life, probably anyway.
Yeah.
So I think the answer to the question, Stephanie, would be either two long runs or a long run in a workout. Usually that's what I like to put on a pair of shoes before I take them to a race.
I normally do one long run, a workout, and an easy run. Yeah, because like I feel like that easy run in there throws in like the comfortability part.
Yeah.
And you gotta find the hot spots too.
Yeah. And a lot of times I'll just take one shoe if we traveling for a race. So I'll do my shakeout in my race shoe and just call it whatever, So
always do. I typically always do a shakeout in the race shoe.
Oh.
Gary, like, no, I put a tray use out,
Yeah, I mean, no, because I like to like in my shakeout, I like to like do a few glorified strides, and I just want to like I want to sit them down in the hotel room, knowing that like they saw some speed today,
Yeah.
All right. So real quick, so let me finish. What time are you aiming for in Berlin? I don't want to talk about that.
Show them your shirt. That's the time.
Oh, yeah, this is my time. 1:59:40. So I was in the bathroom line today, and the guy was like, he like stepped out and he was like, "Is that your marathon time?" I'm like, "Bro, I wish, man. Like we're in the bathroom, bro. Can you just you gotta wait till another time?"
Yeah, I did this one time in Valencia. I was just hanging out. And, ran next to this short African guy for 26.2 miles. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's strange, really strange thing. Okay, this was so Mo Turner, Adrian Turner. He won shoes last time. How many miles is your shakeout run before races? Typically, my shakeout run before races is anywhere between 3 to 4 miles. Normally, I just like run the 3 and then I do strides after 3, and then just call it, see whatever it is.
3 miles, 30 minutes, whatever everybody's doing.
For me, it depends on how well I plan my route, because in Newport I got lost.
How many miles did you do?
I ran like 5.5 miles shakeout the day before because I got lost in Newport, Rhode Island, trying to be sweet and run a loop and not an outback.
So yesterday I had to do. She put shakeout on my schedule and gave me 8 miles. It says a nice, easy 8 mile shakeout, and I'm like, this ain't a shakeout, lady. This is a run. You know? But it was. Because that's what I think. Like, if anybody's gonna do a tune-up race, don't taper for the tune-up race. Like, you just can't. You can, but it defeats the purpose. Like, and that's another thing. So I ran a tune-up, but then at mile like 4 or 5, I kept trying to remind myself, this is the second half of the marathon. Because you're going into, I finished this today at like 72 miles for the week, and I was just trying to keep reminding myself, like, hopefully this is what it'll feel like the last 10 miles or the last half of the marathon. You know what I mean? And that would be wonderful. If I could feel just like I did today at the end of a marathon, that'd be great. I know that's not going to be the case, but it's supposed to be more like what it'll feel like, because it's harder to get your legs turning. You have been through, weeks and weeks of training. You shouldn't be able to. You shouldn't really be able to just go crazy. I did get a PR today, but that's because I'm training for a fast. Like, if I just ran my marathon pace that I'm going for, it would have PR. It would have been PR anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just reminiscing back to the free press half when that was.
So you did the same thing I did. Technically, it was like first 10 miles, kind of like locked on to your pace, and then you sped up at the end, right? Or you just crushed it the whole time?
No, the first 3 miles was at marathon pace, and I was just telling Josh, like, no, we need to. I want to stay at 6:35. And he kept just kind of inching up, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, I feel all right. And so then
this goes against everything you said.
5 miles was like 10.
So you like running with people. It just depends on who you run it with.
No, but even then he was like, I'm just gonna run whatever. I'm just gonna do whatever you do. So It's not like I was thinking in my mind like, I gotta make sure me and Josh have a good race. He was just like, I'm just racing it for fun, and I just want to try to stay with you. So I was like, all right, cool. So we ran my pace. He kind of made it a little more competitive than I was planning for it to be. But I think that kind of worked out in my favor, because I'm just like, all right, whatever. Yep. It is what it is. So.
Yeah, this guy's crazy. James said no taper for the tune-up. Ran Crim and followed with 19 miles this morning. Jeez.
Heavy work.
So today ended up being a 19-mile day because she had me do three up, 3 down with the half. Well, I'll tell you, them last 2 miles of that like cool down felt terrible, bro. Terrible.
3 mile cool down. I did one today. I'm like,
I had a 4 mile cool down last Sunday, and it was just like,
I did too. And I was feeling like complete ass that last week, and that 4 mile was the worst. I was like 9-minute mile shuffling.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. I look at that and I watch like, I could walk. It ain't that bad.
We got a question. We got 2 questions in here that I want to.
We got a bunch. Yeah. Let's.
Hold on. So somebody said I can't pronounce it. Says which mile did your mind wander? And assuming today, because we was talking about my half, and I do remember randomly thinking, oh dang, what was I just thinking about? Like, you ever just be running like in a race and you almost like remind yourself that like, oh, you're supposed to be doing something. Never.
Yeah.
I focused too much in the race.
Like I was like all on, but then at one point I started thinking about something so random, like off the wall, like nothing to do with what was happening, and it was just weird, like to be like, yo, what are you doing? Like,
yep, yeah, because you can almost feel yourself once you like bounce back to what you're doing. You can feel you're like, look at your watch. You slow down because you're not like.
Yeah, you slow down because you're not engaged anymore.
Yeah.
It's like weird. It's like the weirdest thing.
I'm a hyper obsessive. I
do that. I noticed I do that in longer track workouts. I always like kind of fall asleep like in the back turn, Is that what it's called?
Sure.
The one over there, over like the 200
Over
mark,
yonder?
over yonder, the 200, around like the 200 mark. For some reason, I always slow down back there,
You
and
might
it's
be
like,
tired, you know?
yeah, maybe.
That could be a part of it.
But yeah, so maybe I think it was maybe mile like it was definitely like mile 6, 7. It was like right in the middle, like when you're trying to forget about if you're halfway through or not, you know. But like after you get to mile like and a half, after you get to like mile 8, it's like okay, here we go, it's on, you know.
Hey,
All right, so we got
go ahead.
many
No, go ahead.
No, we got
We'll keep
questions.
rolling.
What are you gonna say?
No, I was just about to say, in the half marathon, when I get to mile 6, I'll be like, all right, I'm halfway.
No, you
and
ain't.
then I get to like 6.5, and I'm like, all right, now I'm really halfway.
And then you get to 6.6, you're like, oh, now I'm actually halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what we got? Maurice says, do you ever get mentally burned out from the training? If so, how do you deal with it?
I was burned out at the beginning of this training because I was so disappointed with how Oregon actually ended up, Eugene ended up, that to ramp up to do another full marathon training, especially one like New York, I wasn't looking forward to it. The summer speed helped because I was able to focus on something different and knew I was doing good work with that. It wasn't, I think I put this in my Instagram today, Gary as a runner, that today was this is the first week I felt like I was up to where I needed to be mentally because I wasn't really feeling it the whole time. You know, I was hitting all my splits and I was doing everything I was supposed to, but I was almost felt like I was just going through it and not hyped. But I had 2 really good workouts this week where I felt like I was back to where I need to be to have a good quality training session. So I think I should be good for the rest of this training. And I think I talked to you, Tommy, this week. Like, I'm debating whether or not to even do Boston in April because it's a whole, again, you do 3 marathon segments in a row. That's just a lot right now.
Yeah.
So, but I'm trying just to focus on New York and keep my head in the game there. And then after that, we'll see what happens. But, you know, there's always, even at the beginning of a marathon training segment, you can be mentally checked out. I'm sure you guys have different views or different times where you've maybe the mental struggle was different, but
what about you, Aaron?
Beginning.
Yes, I definitely get mentally burned out. I usually deal with it by alienating myself from all my friends. It takes a large strain on my relationships. I realized that in my this might be too much information, but in my personal relationships, my romantic relationships, usually when things get bad, that's when I'm in the thick of marathon training. So yeah, that's not good. I'm usually arguing a lot more in our group chat.
Let me tell you, when I know when it's like 2-3 weeks away from a marathon, our group chat gets crazy. Everybody's trying to argue. It's always about like something just like about halfway about training, but not really, and kind of too personal, but but not. It gets a little crazy in there, man. But how do you like snap out though? How do you get back to it?
Usually copious amounts of processed and refined sugar. So ice cream, cookies, all those kind of things usually make me happy. It's usually temporary because vices, that's kind of how they work. But seriously, I try to I don't know. I try to just kind of remind myself why I'm doing it. And also, it's usually later into a block, so I just tell myself like race day will be here soon, and all of this will be done, and we can get back into the normal headspace of not being in the thick of a marathon training block. So it's usually like right around the corner, it'll be over. But sometimes you just got to step away. Sometimes you got to take a step back and kind of just remove yourself from the thing that's causing this burnout, which is usually a lot of running. So prioritize mental health. I always tell people the marathon isn't going anywhere, running isn't going anywhere, as long as Vivek Ramaswamy doesn't become the president, because he doesn't think climate change is real. So the world might blow up if that happens. But if you have to take some time off, if you got to step away from the sport for a little while to gain that love and gain that desire to do it back, that's okay. Like it'll be best for the long run anyway.
Alexa says, my family says when I marathon train, we all marathon train. And that's so true. Everybody marathon training. Your job marathon training with you too. But yeah, so I don't know if I necessarily get mentally burned out. I think if I had to say I had a mental lapse or something like that, and I was having a tough time, like, you know, really getting going, it is maybe towards the beginning of a training block, because it's like, here we go again. But like once I like have that chat with myself or whatever to like kind of decide, like, is this what we doing? Decide on a goal that's like scary enough to like snap me into, you know, like to get me rolling, then I'm fine. I think summer speed definitely helped out a lot because it was like more fun than we've had before. It was tough, but it was like more fun involved. So I think like a good way would be to do something fun. And I think I'm gonna get on my, like, you know, because me and Strava cool now. Strava, I think Strava, one of the things that I like about Strava is like in the past, like I would randomly go on Strava and like accept like a random challenge for the month. That's like you're obviously gonna get that if you just do what your training block says to do anyway. But like I'll just like sign up for like 100 miles in a month thing and like just random little achievements and stuff like that, because it kind of like gamifies the situation a tad. Stuff like that is just kind of like easy to do, and it's like you're gonna do it anyway. But just why not like get like a little medal for it or something like that. But one of the things that helped me in this training block to really lock on, I just keep talking about it everywhere, is that book, A Champion's Mind. Like the way that they talk about like just the mental aspect of it, but then not just like some foo-foo, like, you know, write it down and it's going to happen, or, you know, believe it and all that stuff. It's like, it's do all that, but then like you use the mental side of it to training your training, your daily training, the way you go about training, how you engage with like what you're doing, and not just going out and running like 8 junk miles, but like going into that 8 junk miles with the concept of like, this is for something different, you know, like it's just a subtle shift, like how to tap back into all the stuff you're going to do anyway, but doing it from like a different like mindset that makes it a little more enjoyable, because you're chasing something as opposed to just like going out and doing another 70-mile week or something. And that's been huge. And that's what part of like that kind of led me to like messaging Melissa a few weeks ago, being like, I want to go for it. Because I just felt like I was in the right space to do all this stuff and go for it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, books and stuff like that help too. Like all the self-help books and stuff like that. Certain times you might be more receptive to it than others. All right, Matthew Cox says, does watching World Athletics Budapest and what happened to fit athletes like Kira D'Amato affect your mental at all? So just a quick touch up. Kira didn't have a good race in Budapest. I think she ended up finishing like 18th or something like that. Definitely not the goal she was going for. The time that they finished in, the winners, I don't even know what it was, but it was definitely within her. You know, it wasn't like it wasn't like the Ethiopians did like an Ethiopian time. You know, it was like 2:20. I mean, it was like way under what their PRs, or way slower than their PRs. No, I don't think so, because I don't think it really should affect Kira's mental at all either. Really, I mean, she did a lot of training for it, but like it was 70 to 80 degrees. Like they literally, it was 80 degrees at 40 kilometers. So that means they had, I think it was 72 or 73 when they started. So
yeah, and Kira, I mean, she gutted it out. I mean, she said so. If you read her post, she was in pain, and you know, she could have walked off that course, and everybody would have been like, "Hey, we get it," but she didn't. You know, so to me, that's inspiring. You know, like, look, I'm going to finish this. You know, I got my, I was invited to be here by the country. I'm going to do this, and you know, I thought she did great. You know, in spite of everything.
Yeah, I think like all the performances, actually, like all the performances that you see that we've seen, like good or bad, really, or unexpected, you know, because like some people that they expected to do better just didn't, and that's in anything over like the 5,000 or especially the 10,000 meter races, like all that's inspiring, because like even if you go out there and you like literally give it everything, despite like the heat, and you try to be smart and you try to go a little slower and you just try, you know, whatever. I think that's all inspiring, because we all got bad days.
Yep.
You know, and because I think like as amateurs, like we swear. I mean, it seems like we swear we're never gonna have a bad day. You know, like you're never gonna have a bad race, and it's the end of the world. Like they literally, that's like their lifestyle to go try to win, and they have bad days and they shake it off and they keep going. You know, so it's like it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, even Kipchoge, in Boston, bad day.
Yeah,
He's the best in the world.
rain is his thing. You know, that's it. Every time it's rain. Yeah, rain in hills. He doesn't like him.
Yeah.
So Josh says, how do you rebound from injury? I'm coming back after a month off due to a knee injury. To me, I just would say take your time. Like even if you feel good, like you don't feel the pain anymore, don't go run, a 16 mile
to North Carolina and run a marathon.
Yeah, don't do that. Just take your time. Because I had stress fractures, so like mine was like the doctor at one point said like it needs to take you 3 to 4 weeks to get back up to 4 miles at a time. But like I didn't listen to that all the way, but I definitely like slowly edge back up. But like I think we all just immediately, as soon as we don't feel it anymore, we just jump back into it. And you might as well just take your time. Like Aaron said, the marathon or whatever you're trying to race isn't going anywhere unless it's the Savannah rock and roll. That's going somewhere. That's gone. So, as it should. All right. So I guess we need to do some housekeeping.
Like the video. We got 15 likes on YouTube.
15.
Right now.
We got 15 likes. 15 likes. We got 20 something people in here right now watching the show. Please, if you're on YouTube, which you have to be obviously to watch it, hit the like button. Get these likes up. Thank you for tapping in. One question I was actually thinking about this today, and I was just going to spring it on you guys, but somebody else actually asked for me. Matthew Cox said, can y'all turn, I don't know why y'all had to be like that. Can y'all turn the live recording into a pod?
I have no idea how to do that, but it sounds good.
Well, there's one person on here that has a podcast.
And fortunately, guys, we literally have every recording since me and Aaron started it on here. So like we could drop like 4 at a time, just without no editing and just whatever the fun is.
I think that'll work. Because I was listening to Torre. He has a podcast, but a lot of times, like the way he's been doing podcasts since 2016 or something like that, and he drops 3 a week.
Yeah,
but 2 of them are old. Like 2 of them will be like archive podcasts, and then he'll do 1 new one because he's got like constantly gaining new subscribers. So he like, I'm not gonna let this evergreen content. Like he had this old interview he did with Malcolm Gladwell from 2020 that he just reposted, and I'm just like, that's genius because if people didn't know about you then, you're giving them new content that you don't have to do anything for, but just post it.
So I heard there's a hack though. So like if you start a podcast and you drop like a bunch of content in the first like 7 days or 2 days, if you drop a bunch of content in the first 2 to 3 days, it like sparks this thing because people will like listen to like all 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
In like such a short period of time, like it like the algorithm goes like, oh, you on
podcast,
and then like it just jumps up. So yeah, I think we should do that, guys.
We can do that.
Yeah,
you should do that. I think maybe we start with this season, and then we maybe work our way random like backwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do it
because they're all here.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthew, for bringing that up because I literally was like today. I was like thinking we could drop.
That's
like
funny. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I wonder if we could do that.
Because I think the way that we, especially like this season for sure, like the way that we like have conversations, this is a podcast. Like, it's like, this is like just a like listen to on the run.
Do you know what? You know what got me thinking about it is when I met over at your place and you were finishing up your relay with Kafuzi and what's his name?
Bramka.
Yeah. And I realized you guys were on video. I don't know if you guys post this on YouTube.
Yeah. No. But it was video, but we didn't post on YouTube, but it was for the podcast.
Yeah. I kept thinking to myself today. I'm like, there's got to be a way to like convert these to.
Yeah, that's all all the Run Eat Sleep shows are done on this platform.
Okay.
And we just so you can see each other because it's different. Like back in the day you had to like just talk on the phone. I don't know. But like now you can see each other have conversations. You know what I mean? All right. So that's thank you so much, Matthew. That'll be coming soon. We'll figure out how to roll it out. Probably have to get a graphic. We'll use that one picture or something like that. We do something different than just the two of us, Aaron.
Yeah.
Two of our talking heads is getting old.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do quick summer speed stuff. We got the On giveaway. Big shout out to On if you are listening and watching this episode. On sponsored the Summer Speed. Summer Speed is a PR project thing where we ran a bunch of races and had some fun, and just if your goal was to PR at any point and get faster at any point this year and use the summer to like have some fun, run some fast races, run a lot of miles, do some working out, whatever you wanted to do, whatever your version of summer speed was, that's what your goal was. And we have a Strava group. So if you follow me or Gary or Aaron, you can just go to whatever groups we're in and then find Summer Speed and join Summer Speed, have some conversation, post some miles, do your thing. And On sponsored by giving us 6 giveaway items, and the items are either the Cloud Surfer or the Cloud Monster, which are 2 very, very good everyday training options. I think that the Cloud Surfer is one of my favorite daily non-plated trainers. If I'm saying that right, yeah. Favorite daily non-plated trainer is the Cloud Surfer, and for
or otherwise known as a trainer.
A trainer. Well, I mean, no, man. Now you got these shoes with plates in them. That's trainers. They literally got trainer in the name.
They put the word super in front of it.
Super trainer.
Yeah, just normal trainer. But yeah, if
you want to follow Summer Speed on, or you want to join the group on Strava, link is in the chat.
Link is in the chat. Thank you so much. Link is in the chat. Follow the Summer Speed. Thank you so much. It's in the chat right there. Strava.com, clubs, Summer Speed. Boom. Do it. Click on it now. If you're not a part of it, you might as well be. It's a lot of fun. But we do it. We give a shoe away every other week. And now it's time to give away another pair of shoes. I think both people so far have picked Cloud Surfers. I think. Wait, did Adrian pick Cloud Surfers or Cloud Monster, Gary?
I gotta go back and look.
No, don't worry about it.
Nope, you already asked.
Nope, we're here now. All right. Share screen. Let me know when y'all can see what I got going on.
R.I.P. Bob Barker.
Oh man, sorry Bob.
He went monsters.
There we go. All right. So y'all see the 3 of us and then the thing, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yep.
Boom. All right. So this is for a pair of Cloud Monsters or Cloud Surfers. Whoever wins this. Mark.
We know Mark is in here. Shout out to Mark.
Mark is definitely in here. Hey, big shout out to Mark. Mark, all you have to do is shoot Gary, Aaron, or myself a DM. Tell us what shoe size, the selection, which one, Monster or Surfer, and your address, name, and email address. Just send us your information, and we will get that over to On, and they'll be trying to send those shoes out to you soon. Mark, and big shout out to you, Mark, because Mark's been a regular for a minute. So thank you so much, Mark. Congrats. Sweet. I couldn't have said it better, Mark. Sweet. You know.
I
but
was
yeah,
there when you BQ'd at Bayshore, by the way.
What? Oh yeah. Did I have I don't think I met Mark. But congratulations, Mark. Thanks everybody for watching the show. Can't wait to see y'all again next week. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. Make sure you go over to Instagram and follow the PR Project on Instagram. And then if you're feeling about it, go make sure you follow all 3 of us. Run well. And peace be unto you.
Namaste.
Namaste. This is the weirdest thing.